Advertising. Let's talk advertising. Should I buy leads? Should I buy leads? No. Asterisks. Buying leads can make for really great training, right? It can make for really great training, but understand the ratio. Understand what you're going into. It's probably going to be 25 to 1. You're going to work 25 leads. You're going to have 25 conversations, and they're leads. I don't like the term leads, but that is what they are. You're going to have 25 conversations. You're going to build some applications. You're going to collect some docs. You're going to submit a few, and you're going to get one across the finish line. But you're going to learn a lot really quickly. So I would say, no, you shouldn't buy leads if you're in your third, fourth, fifth year. Work that database. Work those referral partners. Come on. But from day one, if you don't have a big network, it's not, even when you do have a big network, why operate on your friends and family? Why not operate on strangers first? You know, maybe not the worst idea, right? If you're a surgeon, you might look at it that way. Should you advertise? Again, I say no. I mean, once established, you might, but really just to remind people who've dealt with you that you're still around. I'd leave the bus benches for realtors, to be honest. It makes more sense for them. For us, what we do, it's so personal. Like, I need your credit report. I need your job letter, your T4s, your NOAs, your T1 general tax returns. I need your separation agreement. I need all this personal data. And I don't know about you, but I'm not giving all that up to some face on a bus bench. It's just not happening. It's just not. It's a different world than real estate. It's a little bit of a different space. So I would hesitate on advertising, and if I was going to advertise, I'd at least make sure I didn't have typos, says the guy that sent a 2020 Happy New Year card. I'd watch for the typos, but I'd also watch for sentences that are just flat out wrong. Like, how am I going to reduce my debt by up to 80%? So you're saying I currently owe 100 grand, I'm going to come work with you and walk away only owing 20 grand? I don't think that's how this works. So that is a misleading advertisement. It's very unfortunate. This is kind of cool. This is punchy or kicky, but it's kind of cool, right? Like out with 2020. It's a year later since I first saw this, because of course this was January 2021 when Corolla sent this to me. But I think this is really cool. This is a great graphic. That's a good thing to put out there. It's fun, it's eye-catching. Bring on 2021. As it happened, 2021 wasn't so bad for most of us. And Jack, I think this is a great Instagram post, right? What are you posting on Instagram? We had a local guy in the mortgage industry. He posted a video a few weeks ago of a fight that broke out in the hockey stands, and an older gentleman got punched in the face. It frankly was disturbing. I was disturbed that Instagram thought that's the first thing I'd want to see when I went in to post a picture of a sunset. And I opened Instagram and I'm watching this brawl in the hockey stands at a Canucks game here in Vancouver. And then I'm looking at who's posted this anyway. Why are you posting a picture of something that's kind of disturbing, a video actually, of something that's kind of disturbing? Like, whereas you could have posted something like Jack here, which is, you know, kind of fun, kind of cool, right? Eyes for spotting opportunities, a stomach for trusting your gut. I love this stuff. A heart full of passion, a brain full of solutions. This is awesome. I don't even think Jack's on this right now. If you are, hey man, great ad. But it caught my eye the same way the hockey fight thing caught my eye, but I don't remember who posted that. Don't know. It didn't register. Couldn't care. But I remember Jack, right? And now you do too. And you are what you advertise, meaning you are what you post. You are what you post. That's the reality. So define your client. Who are you trying to attract? Who are you trying to attract? Who do you love? Who is your avatar? My avatar is AAA clients who want to work with an expert, right? It's business for self, established, multiple properties. That became my wheelhouse. And the more of those people I worked with, the more of them I wound up working with, and that's also what's going to happen. Whatever business you get in, you just wind up with more and more of that business. right? They were typically incorporated with a certified accountant. So I spoke their language. I could talk about financial statements because I'm reading my own financial statements. I could connect with their accountant because I knew how to speak with an accountant because I've been speaking with one my whole life. Excellent credit. Hires an expert often. That's what I want. I don't want the guy who's busy on the phone hanging his own Christmas lights, right? I want the guy that's outsourcing that. I want the guy that thinks the way I think, or the girl that thinks the way I think. Either way, my avatar is happy, they're optimistic, and they're constructive, right? And these same rules apply with brokers. That's who I want to work with broker-wise. I want to work with happy, constructive people who are optimistic. Here's my joy matrix for 2022. I sketched this up the other day on the back of a napkin, and thanks, Cher, for making it look decent. But yeah, this is my joy matrix, right? I'm gonna do things I enjoy with people I enjoy right now. That's what's gonna happen. I like this, I enjoy this, and I enjoy you. So here we are, let's do this, great. Things that bring me zero joy with people I don't like, that's out of my life, right? Now sometimes there are things you have to do with people you don't really want to do them with. Maybe I can delegate those things. They have to be done, maybe I can get them done, delegate, right? And then of course there's the people I enjoy, and sometimes we gotta do some shit we don't wanna do, but at least we like each other, at least we're gonna have some fun, let's get it done, right? I mean, that's the nature of life. Fact, like travels with like. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. I think that's a fact as well. Like travels with like. And like looks for like. Like looks for like all the time. That's why like travels with like, because like is always looking for like. That's just the reality. So if you've got clients who like to do this to themselves, meaning they like to send you all their documents 2 days before closing, you'll wind up with a whole bunch of clients that send docs 2 days before closing. Because people like this hang out with people like this. Don't be like this. Don't be like this. People who want a trusted advisor and guidance. Where to get the business? The business is everywhere. I'm so happy that a good friend of mine, a realtor actually, that snuck into the group here. I'm glad he's on right now. I hope he's listening right now. Because we've had this conversation, and this is actually a conversation between him and I that I'm going to touch on. Business is everywhere. He is a top producer. And I remember years ago him asking me, we're talking about this newer gentleman, and the young guy had said to him, like, how do you bring the conversation, you know, when you're talking with new people and you meet them out in the world, how do you bring the conversation around to real estate? How is every conversation not about real estate? We literally both said it in unison on the phone to one another. I mean, how is it not? Like, that's the advertising, being excited about what you do, understanding the numbers, being able to articulate these different things. And when someone at a party comes up to you and said, hey, what do you think's gonna happen with interest rates? I don't know. Really? That's your answer? You don't know? I mean, no one knows, but you can do more than that. You can say, well, if rates go up, this is what it might mean to you. Are you in a fixed mortgage or variable? Well, no, we're in a fixed. Okay, when are you up for renewal anytime soon? Well, no, not for a couple of years. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Well, but we're thinking about doing a renovation. Oh, okay. Well, you know, the penalty, it might depend on who your lender is. Oh, we're with First National. You know, they're actually a low penalty lender. We might actually be able to get you refinance. In fact, we might even be able to take you back to First National, get it done there. Oh, really? That's a thing? Yeah, well, why don't we have a conversation? And that was all, where do you think interest rates are going? Right? There's different answers you can give. How is every conversation you're having with people not coming around to finance? How is it not coming around to it? Real estate's like a sport in this country at this point, right? It's like clients and dating. I mean, how to meet anyone. Identify common interests. Education-based marketing. Create your own events. Your own education-based marketing. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. I wasn't creating events, but every call I was having where I was sharing the fixed versus variable piece, that was education-based marketing. One of the best books I read, which is where this term comes from, which is when the light bulb went on, that's what I was doing, is written by Chet Holmes, and it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And that book defined this for me, and that book is phenomenal. If you only had one book that you could read and reread and you were stuck, just that's it. I only get this one book and I have to read it every 3 months for the next 2 years. That would be one of those books. It would serve you very, very well. Videos, blogs, life, right? Take a position on something. I've clearly taken a few positions in my life, but I'm pretty confident I have the experience and the facts to back up my positions, right? Start with life experience. This is going to be a little bit of a buzzy slide. Start with your life experience. I bought a commercial property when I was 19 years old, then bought a house. We bought a house, I think I was 24 when we bought that house. And we bought a rental condo. We bought more rentals, some commercial properties. We went variable, all except that first one, right? Because, hey, rates were at 7.75. They weren't staying under 10 for long. They're going right back up. Lock in. Yeah, right. Never again. That was the one time. Paid that IRD penalty, indeed, never again. We bought a pre-sale. We closed with cash on that pre-sale, which is tricky to do, but we found a way to do it, and refinanced it to 80% of the new market value a day later with an A lender. All good. We could have actually closed with that lender and refinanced with that lender as well. That's the thing you can do. You don't have to close with a private and then do an ETO. You can close it on the A side. Rentals. All the rentals went into a holdco. That was my life experience, right? My owner occupied is in a holdco. And I've got most of the blog posts written as to why that is. I don't know if I want to put it out there. I keep getting audited all the time. Damn. I mean, I've passed through the audits just fine, but it's just a pain in the butt. It's a drag. But I'll put that list back up for you. You can put that slide full screen if you want for a minute. These are the things that I've experienced. These are the things I can write about. What can you write about? What transactions have you had in your life? How have you done them and why? Right? These are the things that you can talk about. That's the advertising. Make a list of all you've done in real estate, finance, business. Write out why you did it the way you did it. This is your advertising. Make this list. These are your stories, and your stories sell you. People love stories. So when you tell the story of your first purchase, your first tenant, your first commercial property, you engage. You engage them. As I say, this is your advertising. I mean, 2134 Prairie Avenue, Port Coquitlam, $168,000, 5% down, right? Yeah, probably should have hung on to that one. What did I say earlier? Never, ever sell. We put $8,000 down and paid a CMHC premium and a $6,000 penalty to get out. There was no money left, like between realtor fees, CMHC penalty going in, the mortgage penalty on the way out because the new property was on a well. And BMO said, we aren't comfortable financing that property on a well, so we're not going to give you a mortgage. Title insurance probably would have solved that, but I didn't know to ask for that, so we had to go to a whole new lender to get our mortgage. And so we paid the penalty to get out of this one. And that sucked. Put $8,000 down, paid a $6,000 penalty. So I learned that lesson early on, and I shared that. What other lessons did I learn from this property? I remember having a conversation. Now, I could be delusional, and my father will correct me because I think my mom and dad may be watching this right now. But I feel like we had a conversation where at one point they said, the woman you're buying this house from, the person you're buying this house from, they paid $42,000 for it 11 years ago. You're paying $168,000? 400% increase? I don't know. Might be a bubble, right? Might be a bubble. Could be. We all have the experiences we have that lead us to where we get to at that time that we're making that decision. And when you look at a house that's gone up 400%, how can it go up any higher, right? How? I mean, in 1989, Vancouver homes went up 39%. That's unsustainable. There's no way that can last. There's no way those prices are going to stay that high. This house that we really got no money out of for selling, that we could have rented out for the mortgage payment and covered it off and just sat on it. As I stand here 27 years later, so it would be paid off, the mortgage would be paid off, the lot value is $1.25 million. That wouldn't be a bad return on an $8,000 investment. Buy, refi and buy, refi and buy. Don't sell, just don't sell.